For 5 years, I loved her with all my heart, stood by her every step of the way, but one smile from her shattered my world. Have you ever thought that the one you consider your everything would betray you? This is a story of love, betrayal, and a revenge that shook everyone to their core. The golden rays of the afternoon sun hit the brick walls of the brownstone, and the city air was filled with the familiar smell of street vendors and exhaust. Amelia Jones, a beautiful and confident 32-year-old woman, stood on her balcony. Her crimson silk scarf fluttered in the breeze, and there was a peculiar glint in her eyes, as if she held a secret. Amelia had been living a happy life for the past 7 years with her husband, Will Davis, a successful architect known for giving old buildings new life. Everyone who looked at their marriage from the outside would say, their love is timeless. But every story has a twist. And the twist in Amelia's story was Alex Chase. Alex, Amelia's college friend, had recently returned to NYC. He was a photographer whose pictures brought the city streets to life. Amelia and Alex's friendship had remained unfinished in their college days. Now, when Alex saw Amelia at an art gallery, his smile reopened old wounds. "Amelia, you haven't changed at all," he said, laughing, and there was a strange unease in Amelia's laughter. Amelia and Alex's meetings became more frequent. At first, it was just small talk at a coffee shop. Then Alex invited Amelia to his photography exhibition. "Bring Will too," he said, but Amelia laughed it off. "He's always lost in his buildings." The truth was, Amelia didn't want Will to come. There was a strange magic in Alex's words, in his compliments. He gave her the freedom that had been lost in Will's busy life. One evening, Alex invited Amelia under the pretext of showing her pictures of the Brooklyn Bridge. The sun was setting, and the golden cables of the bridge were bathed in a red hue. Alex took a picture of Amelia and said, "You're more beautiful than this bridge." Amelia's heart skipped a beat, but she composed herself. "Alex, I'm a married woman," she said softly. Alex smiled and replied, "I didn't say anything wrong. Compliments are a part of friendship." But there was something else in his eyes. Will began to notice Amelia's changing habits. She wouldn't come home until late, and when she did, her phone was always face down. One night, when Amelia said she was going out for dinner with her friend, Maya, Will followed her. He reached a famous NYC restaurant, but Maya wasn't there, Alex was. Amelia's laughter and Alex's touch broke Will's heart. He didn't say anything, he just quietly went home. But that night, Will made a decision. He would find out the truth. Will hired a private detective, Ryan Cooper. Ryan, a retired NYPD officer, knew every secret of the city's streets. He gave Will 4 days. "If there's something, I'll find it. If not, you'll have peace of mind." On the first day, Ryan sent a picture, Amelia and Alex at an old brownstone, where Alex was taking pictures for his next exhibition. Amelia's laughter and Alex's gaze were saying something else. On the second day, Amelia said she was going to a charity event. Ryan's pictures showed her at a diner outside the city with Alex. No charity event, just two people, lost in each other. On the third day, Amelia said she was at a fundraiser. Ryan confirmed she was at Alex's studio, and the atmosphere there was a bit too romantic. On the fourth day, Ryan reported that Amelia and Alex had booked a resort 30 miles outside NYC. Will's blood was boiling, but he held himself back. He called his friend Chris and said, "Come with me. The truth will come out tonight." Chris had his phone ready to record every moment. At 9 p.m., Will and Chris reached the resort. Will knocked on the door. At first, there was no answer. Then Amelia opened the door. She was in a blue dress, her hair disheveled, and fear in her eyes.
"Will,
you here?" Her voice was trembling. "Yeah, Amelia. I came to surprise my wife," Will said in a calm but sharp tone. He pushed the door and stepped inside. Alex was there, holding a glass of wine, without a shirt. "You shouldn't be here," Alex said. "And you shouldn't be with my wife," Will replied. He placed Ryan's pictures in front of Amelia. "The diner, the studio, this resort. Tell me, Amelia, what is all this?" Tears streamed down Amelia's face. Will, this is a misunderstanding. Alex is just a friend. A friend? Will laughed. So, this is a resort for friends? These are nights for friends. He gestured towards Chris, who was recording everything. You'll pay for your mistake, Amelia. But here came the first twist in the story. As Will was about to leave, Alex said, Stop, Will. You don't know the whole story. He took an envelope from his pocket and handed it to Will. Read this. The envelope contained a letter, and it said that Alex had a fatal illness. He had only a few months left. Amelia was with me because I asked her to help me for the last time. I didn't want my life to end alone. Will was stunned. Amelia was crying. Will, I wanted to tell you, but I was scared. I thought you wouldn't understand. The story stops here. Will Will forgive Amelia? Or is this just another deception? Is Alex's illness real, or is it another trap? And if it's true, will Will's revenge be even more dangerous? New York City, 2025. That night at the resort, Will held the envelope in his hand, his eyes repeatedly reading the words on the paper. Alex's claim of illness, his trembling voice, and Amelia's tearful gaze. Everything was pulling him in like a vortex. But Will's heart, which had been burning in the fire of betrayal, wasn't going to melt so easily. He tossed the envelope at Amelia and said, If this is true, why didn't you tell me? 7 years of marriage, Amelia, and you treated me like a stranger. Amelia sobbed in response. I tried, Will. But you were always lost in your buildings, in your projects. I was lonely. Alex listened to me. He understood what I was saying. Listened. Will's voice was mocking. By the lake, in the studio, in this resort? Was this listening or something else? He looked at Chris, who was still recording. Chris, turn it off. This is private now. Chris put his phone in his pocket, but his eyes were on Alex, as if he was watching his every move. Alex stepped forward and said, Will, I didn't force Amelia. It was my fault. I asked her to spend my last days with me. Please forgive me. But a spark of doubt was in Will's eyes. He said, I don't believe your story. You both made a fool out of me. But not anymore. Amelia, you have until tomorrow evening. Pack your things. Our relationship ends here. Will and Chris left. Amelia's sobs echoed in the cold air of the resort, but Will didn't look back. The next morning, the sun's rays were once again spreading through the streets of NYC, but there was darkness in Will's heart. He called his lawyer friend, Robert, and told him everything. Robert advised, Will, first check the truth about Alex's illness. If it's a lie, you have a strong case against Amelia. But if it's true, you'll have to think about your next step. Will called Ryan again. Ryan, I need Alex Chase's entire background. His illness, his medical records, everything. Ryan laughed and said, Just 2 days, Will. No secret in NYC can hide from me. Meanwhile, Amelia, with her mother, Sharon, and friend Maya, arrived at Will's brownstone. Her eyes were swollen, and her face was pale. Sharon looked at Will and said, You've ruined my daughter's life. It was her mistake, but you had her investigated by a detective? Is that what a married man does? Will replied calmly, Sharon, your daughter cheated on me. I just brought the truth to light. He showed them Ryan's pictures, the diner, the studio, the resort. Maya held Amelia's hand and said, Amelia, why did you do this? Amelia remained silent, just crying. Her boxes were packed. Amelia looked at Will one last time and said, I love you, Will. I made a mistake, but I can fix it. Will's voice was cold. You broke my trust, Amelia. There's no fixing it now. He closed the door and went inside. 2 days later, Ryan's call came. Will, you need to come to my office. This is a big deal. Will immediately went. Ryan placed a file in front of him. Alex Chase doesn't have any illness. He's perfectly healthy. He got an old medical record forged. But here's the real twist. Alex isn't just an ordinary photographer. He's a con artist. He's trapped 2 other women in the same way before. He uses their emotions, then blackmails their husbands for money. Will's face turned red. And Amelia? Ryan shook his head. She probably fell into Alex's trap. But she hid the truth from you. That's her mistake. The fire of revenge ignited in Will's mind. He decided he would expose Alex, but in a way that would make Amelia realize her mistake as well. He made a plan with Robert and Ryan. We'll send a message to Alex. I need to meet you. I want to talk about Amelia. Alex immediately agreed, probably thinking he could blackmail Will. The meeting was set at an old NYC cafe. Will had Ryan ready, and they had hidden cameras installed in the cafe. Alex arrived, with his same cunning smile. Will, leave Amelia. She's happy with me. What do you want? Just name it. Will said in a calm voice, I want the truth. About your illness. Alex laughed. That was just a drama. To trap Amelia. But what about you? Give me 50 grand, and I'll quietly disappear. Will placed a file on the table. This is a file of your past misdeeds. 2 women, 2 cities, the same story. The police will love this. Alex's face went pale. He tried to get up, but Ryan and 2 police officers were already there. Alex was handcuffed and kept yelling, It's all Amelia's fault. Will called Amelia for the last time. They met at a park, where the NYC air was filled with the scent of flowers. Amelia said, Will, I'm sorry. I fell into Alex's trap. Will said in a cold tone, You lied to me, Amelia. You betrayed me. Alex trapped you, but you let yourself be trapped. He handed a divorce paper to Amelia. This is our last canvas. Now you go your way and I'll go mine. Amelia walked away crying. Will sold the brownstone he had built for Amelia. He made a new beginning, a new project, a new city, and a new trust. But every time he walked through the streets of NYC, Amelia's laughter and Alex's smile echoed in his mind.